Yo, what's up guys, it's me, SSJ Goji here with a movie review that I have promised to do on the Shin Gojira or Shin Godzilla review. A spoiler alert to anyone who has not seen the film. Unfortunately, it is now the 19th of October, so you probably already missed it, and the movie is no longer in America, sadly. So we're all just gonna have to wait for Blu-ray and DVD. So why don't we get started on the review? First of all, I'm going to give a brief section of the plot. Then I'm going to give also the pros and cons of the movie, as well as rating and where I would put it in my top 10 list, because some of you have been asking for that as well. The plot goes like this. Basically, there has been an abandoned boat and it was discovered, and I guess a small rescue team went to investigate. And then apparently they were attacked, and the thing is that we don't know what attacked them. Obviously, we all know what attacked them. Sorry. And it appeared red blood in the ocean, which is kind of weird. But you know, what do you expect from a Godzilla film? You expect some weird stuff. Our main character is Yagachi. I hope I said his name correctly. He's the one who seems to be very, very interested in the creature. Since, yeah, by the way, it is a creature. Since there has been the footage of its tail sticking out, or just, yeah, we all saw its tail, and it's a really massive tail. And he thinks that, well, obviously there's a creature. Everyone thinks he's just joking around, saying, no, this is the time to fool around and make jokes. But after we saw footage of the massive tail, they all thought, okay, maybe he's not joking around. This is probably a giant monster. And then we'll cut to a scene where the creature, as we all know, is Form A. Now roaming through the city and destroying just everything in its path, tossing cars and slowly crushing buildings. Yes, for a thing that massive, it actually moves really slowly. But you can't really blame it because it has no arms. Then we're cut to a sort of more interesting transformation. Yes, I'm gonna say this right now. For this series, this has got to be my favorite transformation I've ever seen. So after he transformed into Form B, or Turkeyzilla as we all know and love, he makes the 54 roar, which I honestly think was quite suitable. If only this roar stayed until his fourth form, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. And then we cut to a scene where he was just standing there. Like, for some reason, he just stopped in his path, looks around, gives one more final roar, and just quickly just runs over to the ocean. Later, after that whole scene, Yagachi gets a team with him, and then they try to find a way to stop the creature. And also, another important character I would like to mention here is Kayoko Anna Patterson. Yeah, I hope I said that correctly. Apparently she is a special envoy for the President of the United States, and she gives us more information about this monster. And of course she says, oh, the Americans call him Godzilla. Japanese, of course, it's Gojira, and the Americans think that Godzilla means God incarnate. Then after that, they have like a little small meeting about Godzilla, and then he actually returns in his fourth form, which unfortunately we did not get to see a transformation, which I actually wanted to see, because the fact that we saw Eelzilla turn from Turkeyzilla, that was actually a good transformation. And like, it would be interesting if we saw like how he transformed to his turkey form to the form that we already saw from trailers and stuff. And apparently he makes his way to the city, causing more destruction, and you know, like any other Godzilla would. The military try to stop him, but as usual in any other Godzilla films, the weapons are useless. The military there's just nothing they can do about it. They try using bombs, tanks, nothing works. For a guy who moves so slowly, he could cause so much damage. It's incredible. So then there we have nighttime, and this scene is really, I guess you could say it's an iconic scene in this movie. Well, at least I hope it is. But during the night scene, the USA, you know what, fuck it, we're just gonna come in and help out. And they decided to get bombers. One of them actually hit Godzilla, and he felt like he got impaled by it. But as soon as he noticed that he was really injured, he charges up his, what we all thought was gonna be his atomic breath, No, it's basically an atomic beam. It's not a breath, it's an atomic beam. Destroys one of the bombers, and then decided to turn around and hit him again. Then he charges up one more time, but this time the beams comes out of his spines, manages to destroy all the bombers. He charges up again, and this time he throws a really massive, like, atomic beam. Well, here's a scene in case you guys have forgotten. Like, that whole scene is just incredible. The way that he moves, for a guy who's slow, he can move so quickly when it comes to that beam. And then after that whole destruction scene, Godzilla just falls asleep standing. Okay, so Yaguchi and his crew advance a plan to free his Godzilla, considering that his whole body is, like, you know, it's really hot. So they thought, all right, what if they just cool him down? It's kind of like burning Godzilla. They're basically trying to freeze him, just so that he could get slowed down or at least stop in his tracks. And then so, like, they all decided to go for the plan. And it's actually a good thing that they went for this plan, because the USA was actually thinking about actually launching a bomb on Godzilla, which would have caused more destruction in Japan. So luckily they didn't go for it, and they actually went for Yaguchi's plan. Since everything was not in place, they actually used train bombs, and one of them actually went towards Godzilla, forcing him to wake up. Then he uses his beam as usual from his spine. Then after that, his spine just completely stopped, and he got hit once again. Then he charges up from the beam from his mouth, and shockingly his tail, and just destroys everything as well. His beam just completely dissolved, and then it was just no more. And after that, he was just completely open for fire. That way, they sent another train bomb towards him, actually causing a lot of damage and making him collapse. Then after that, his mouth was open, so they used, like, I guess these little hose thing, or cranes for a hose, I don't know what it was called, and basically tried to freeze him. And he got up once again, and then we hear the iconic 1984 roar, and then he's just there, frozen, stood still, all the way from head to toe. He was fully frozen, which is actually looks pretty good, like the way he got frozen. Not as superb as he was frozen in Burning Godzilla, but it's completely different. After Godzilla is frozen, we hear some normal talking and all that BS. It's just talk. We just don't care. I mean, but it turns out we find out that he isn't dead, obviously, since Godzilla is just frozen. And then we cut a shot of him in his frozen body. Then next to him, we get closer of his tail, and we see, like, monstrous human skeletons, I don't know what they're called, with Godzilla's spines. And after that, the credits rolled. But now, I'm going to give you my pros and cons of this movie. Pro number one, Godzilla himself. Like, the design of him is just, oh my god. It's clever and it's scary. Like, the whole design, I like. Yeah, people were, like, complaining about how short his arms are and like how big his thighs are, but like, let's look back at history where Godzilla was also, like, his thongs were like massive, and then it's like, you know, it's like people have always something to complain about, which is annoying. Also, another pro is his atomic beam. When I first saw it, it was amazing, the amount of destruction he can do with that beam. Like, when he fired at the building was just melting down and just completely destroyed. I mean, he first, like, threw, like, some gas, and then, like, fire came out, and it just made every streets and every corner just explode, and it was just incredible. Another favorite scene of mine is when he was frozen, because the way, first of all, I love the 84 roar. Not as much as the 54, but I love it. And then as soon as we heard it, I was like, oh, damn. And the effect of him freezing was pretty cool as well. And of course, like, this goes with the atomic beam. The nighttime scene is also a good favorite of mine. Another is the evolution scene. Pokemon, you can eat your heart out, because this evolution is incredible. When I saw this, I know people are gonna slew me in the comments saying, "Oh, Pokemon is just, you can't compare that." I'm just making my own example, okay? So allow me. I'm not a professional when it comes to reviewing and comparing things, okay? I'm just making my own opinion, okay? My opinion doesn't matter. I'm just giving it to you. Now I'm gonna give you the cons. The cons with this is there's too much talking. I will agree on this. People have been complaining that there was too much talking in this movie, and I would have to agree with them. There has been just way too much talking than necessary, and it's like, okay, we get this already. We know what your plan is, and they just make it more difficult. And I feel like there were some scenes that we just didn't need to know, and it's like, there were some scenes and some talking moments where it was just unnecessary. I feel like if they took it out, it would have been a bit shorter, but whatever. Now, second con is sleeping, because the fact that Godzilla was just sleeping for like way too freaking long. It's like, okay, so he's just gonna stand there. Like, I wonder if he falls asleep standing, like underwater. I'm pretty sure that's not the case, but the fact that he was just stood there sleeping, and the fact that his eyes were open, I was like, really? He's just gonna sleep all day? I don't know. That's just a scene that was like, okay, that wasn't necessary. Now, the third con, this goes with the atomic beam for the Pro. A limited atomic beam. Now, I mentioned this before. His atomic beam was getting dissolved. Like, it was like decreasing its power. I guess he can only use this type of power for a certain amount of time. Yes, people have said this is the strongest Godzilla. Better than 2004. And I guess some people said 2014. I'm not gonna count 2014 because I honestly I don't like Legendary's Godzilla. I'm sorry. When I first saw the trailer, I was hyped for it. He looked like Godzilla, sort of, but the roar and like his fire breath is just really. And I mean, it's just, I don't know. That's just my opinion. I don't like the 14 Godzilla. I just don't like it. But is he stronger than 2004? Unfortunately, I don't think he is that strong. Yes, his beam, his atomic beam, I'm not calling it atomic breath, his atomic beam is strong. It's stronger, yes. But the fact that he's limited to this kind of power, then he's not the weakest. I mean, he easily got injured by a simple bomb. Like, like one of the, like, you know, the stealth bomber bombs, but like, he still got injured pretty badly in that scene. And it's like, he got taken down by a train bomb. Like, on any other Godzilla would just take that and just kept on going. But yeah, Shin Gojira isn't the strongest Godzilla, unfortunately. But the only reason I feel it is because I don't think he's done evolving yet. Because this is just his fourth form. It's not his final form, but it's just his fourth. So I feel like there's still more to him than we all give credit for. Another thing is his roar. Yes, I do not like the roar in his final form. I feel like if they used the 54 or the 84 roar, it would have been better. Because look at the design of Godzilla, and then you give him the 62 roar. Come on, it would have been so suitable if they went for the 54 or the 84, and it would have been better. But that's just my opinion. I don't know what everyone else's opinion is different. So don't slew me and don't start an argument in the comments, please. I don't want you guys to be fighting. Please just stop. Now I'm gonna give you the rating of this film. Personally, I give it an 8.5 out of 10. It is. People have said this is a good Godzilla movie, and I have to agree, it is very well. Yes, people have also complained about the CGI and said that, oh, it's like PlayStation 2 graphics. First of all, do you even know what a PlayStation 2 graphics even looks like? Because I don't think you don't. Japan is very new when it comes to CGI. You rarely see them use them. Every Godzilla film is always with a guy in a rubber suit, animatronics, and it works well. Using CGI for the first time for Japan for a Godzilla film, even though I don't think it is the first time, but like for you having Godzilla as CGI fully, he doesn't look that bad, honestly. I didn't have a problem with the CGI. I didn't have no problem with it at all, and that's just my honest opinion. I don't think it's really PlayStation 2 graphics. First of all, I don't know where the hell these people got that idea from, but that's not PlayStation 2 graphics. Like, no, just stop. And now lastly, in my top 10 list, where would I put it? Now, the thing is, I thought about this for a while now, where I would put this in the top 10. Honestly, I will put it at number 6 in my list. Actually, no, I'm sorry, not number 6. I will put it at number 7. So, yes, he's in the top 10, but Shin Gojira is not in the top 5. But anyway, that's it for this video. If we do hear anything more about the DVD or Blu-ray release or the Sh Monster figure, I'll be sure to inform you. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this somewhat terrible review. I'm sorry. I'm not really good at reviewing. This is the first time I've done it. I'm not good at doing things professionally, guys. I just try my hardest. Hopefully just come in some slack. I'm new at this, guys. I'm really new at this. Also, once again, I want to thank you for 200 subscribers. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. Like, I will give high fives and just handshakes to every single one of you. Thank you so much. Hopefully, you guys have a good day. And this is me signing out.